One thing I can tell you about leadership is that when you want to be a great leader, it is not by accident. It is happening with intention. You must have the ability to change with whatever you're given. Defining the leader you want to become may seem trivial and maybe something that you're like, I don't have time for that. But I'm going to argue that this is the core. Who are you being that gets in the way of being a better leader? And who do you want to become in this next level of yourself?
Welcome to Grow Think Tank. This is the one and only place where you will get insight from the founders and the CEOs of the fastest growing privately held companies. I am the host. My name is Gene Hammett. I help leaders and their teams navigate the defining moments of their growth. Are you ready to grow?
Let's talk about being intentional as a leader. When you think about how you want to show up as a leader, do you just show up, open your laptop, get to work, do your email, do your spreadsheets, and then go to meetings, and then put out fires, and then cycle just continues to go over and over and over? Well, this is common. I've been there, and you're probably stuck in the cycle of focusing on work. But what I'm going to invite you to do is to take a beat here for a second to think about what would it take for you to be a better leader? And even more important, why do you want to be a better leader? If you thought about what would it take for you to increase your ability and capacity to lead others, and what's missing for you, then you would be on the right path. But the real key question here is, why do you want to be a better leader? Is it because your team is performing less than optimal? Is it because you feel like you're being burned out? You're getting pulled into decisions? I know you probably have a great team, but somehow everything ends back up on your plate. Well, this is for you. I recently did a speech for the Association of Animal Welfare Advancement. I took this speech because it was local in Atlanta, and I wanted to give back a little bit to an organization that is rescuing animals and helping them through all different aspects, from adoption to health. And I wanted to speak with their leaders, and they were very eager to talk about being a better leader. I'm going to show you a clip from that speech that talks about the being intentional as a leader. And so that will help you understand what I'm talking about. So let's go to that video right now.
One thing I can tell you about leadership is that when you want to be a great leader, it is not by accident. It is happening with intention. You must have the ability to change with whatever you're given. Defining the leader you want to become may seem trivial and maybe something that you're like, I don't have time for that. But I'm going to argue that this is the core. Who are you being that gets in the way of being a better leader? And who do you want to become in this next level of yourself? You've got to be willing to be honest with yourself. You've got to be willing to claim who you're becoming and say, I'm working on this. You want to go deep with your practice. You want to make sure that you show up doing the thing that you want to do, because everything that you have to do is amplified by when you show up intentionally.
Well, I wanted to share that with you because it just puts things in context. And I want to highlight a couple of things from this just to help you understand, what does it take for you to be a better leader? First of all, you've got to define who you're being that gets in the way of your current level of leadership. Are you being too scattered, distracted? Are you being frustrated? Are you being overwhelmed? All of those are having a negative impact on your leadership. Now, let's go through some that I hear quite often that don't sound so bad. Being nice. And being nice is not a bad thing, but being too nice means you get walked on. Some people want to be empathetic. Not a bad thing, but being too empathetic means that you get sucked into the stories of all of the people around you. And too empathetic, again, they walk on you. You can be direct or you can be too direct. What I'm highlighting for you is, if you can define who you're being that's getting in the way of your current level of leadership, then you can write it down, put it on a 3x5 card, 4x6 card, and be very succinct with it. And that will help you figure out what you're moving away from. It should be a little bit ugly. It should be a little bit attacking your character, if you will. This really does work if you do this exercise. And all you have to do is maybe pour a cup of coffee or tea and sit down and think. You don't need your computer. Get a piece of paper and write down, who are you being that gets in the way of your leadership? Let it flow and then organize it in such a way that you come up with a word or a short phrase that you could put down on a 4x6 card, 3x5 card, and use a Sharpie or something so that you can see it and you can say, yes, that's who I am now, but I'm going to move away from that. So that's part one. Also, inside of this whole process, you have to do part two. Part two is, who do you want to become as a leader? Or who do you want to become in this next version of your leadership? It is about you identifying what you're moving toward. One of my clients wrote this recently, and I love the sharpness of this. It's concise, right? It's on that 4x6 card. Be decisive, be focused, and be confident. And every week when we talk in the coaching call, I'm asking them to share stories about how that has showed up in their world, and it reinforces it. It's a form of accountability. But we also use some of my tools to go deeper and deeper into each of these so that they really do make it become natural as they're evolving and transforming as a leader. Now, I give this to you today because I want to help you. I want to help you and push you and challenge you to not just coast, not be complacent, because that is going to kill your performance as a team. It's going to overwhelm you at some point in time. And so you've got to continue to evolve yourself. And what I focus on is helping you evolve as a leader, helping you create a new capacity for leader, or maybe even a new leadership model. I know I haven't introduced myself, but maybe you've been listening to my podcast for ages and you just needed a little bit of a shakeup. But for those that don't know me, I'm Gene Hammett. I'm a CEO coach, founder coach. We do leadership development for executives and managers, all in service of helping them become better leaders. Better leadership provides higher level of performance. It provides a better alignment, and it creates the kind of place where people love to go to work and they are excited to take ownership of their projects and their KPIs and things like that. If you are curious about the work that we do and you want to go just a little bit deeper, but you're not ready for a phone call, then I invite you to go to a training that we have. It's absolutely free, training.coreelevation.com. And you can sign up for the next version of that, absolutely free. In about 90 minutes, we'll go through some core principles and the mistakes that are often encountered, and also some of the challenges you have, but also the 5 steps. I won't try to teach you here today, but if you're curious about what that is, it's absolutely free. Just go to training.coreelevation.com. Just to wrap this up, being intentional is a superpower. Showing up reactively is not your highest level of performance. There's a frame around this inside of sales that you'll probably remember. Smile before you dial. Now, I ask audiences, why do we do that? And I'll just be direct with you. You may already know, but we can sense the other person's mood on the other line of the phone, even if we can't see them on a Zoom call or whatnot. We can sense by the tone of voice and sometimes word choice, are they happy or not? But when you smile, you're basically priming the pump for that joy and happiness to come through in that call. And it's a much more pleasant cold call, if you will. Now, you don't have to be in sales to understand this, but smile before you dial is about being intentional. And so I share that with you because that works. Why wouldn't it work if you are an intentional leader and you decide how you want to show up? The example I gave you earlier, decisive, focused, and confident. These may resonate with you. You can borrow these and use them. Or maybe yours are more specific. You know you need to be more empathetic, or you need to be more direct, or you need to hold people more accountable. Whatever it is, put it down there. One of my favorite ones from years ago is one of my clients who says, I want to be unshakably confident. And I'm showing this on the screen right now because I want you to think about this. Imagine this is the way you showed up 90% of the time, 95% of the time, unshakable confidence. You can do that if you're willing to. If I can help you in any way, make sure you reach out to us, keep following our content, keep stepping up as a leader. And I'd love to support your goals of growth and leadership. When you think of growth and you think of leadership, think of Growth Think Tank. As always, lead with courage. We'll see you next time.